I now invite Sister Ram Priya from Akhil Bharatiya Shri Gurudev Seva Mandal Guru Kunj Ashram to please come and share her thoughts with us.
हैदराबाद के इस पावन भूमि में लौकिक जगत में अलौकिक जगत की अनुभूति कराने वाला, दिव्यता और भव्यता से परिपूर्ण यह स्थान कान्हा शांति वनम अपने आप में विश्व का एक अनूठा स्थान है जो हम सभी को स्वर्ग की अनुभूति कराता है। प्रकृति के इस सुंदर सुरम्य वातावरण में मेरा सौभाग्य है कि पूज्य दाजी की पावन उपस्थिति में आज अपनी वाणी को सिद्ध करने का अवसर मुझे प्राप्त हो रहा है। हम बहुत बड़भागी हैं कि ऐसी दो विरल विभूतियों के जन्म जयंती महोत्सव पर, एक जिन्होंने विश्व शांति का संदेश अपनी आख्यायिकाओं के माध्यम से पूरे भारतवर्ष में फैलाया, ऐसे युग प्रवर्तक वंदनीय राष्ट्रसंत श्री तुकडोजी महाराज, एवं विश्व में शांति कैसे स्थापित करनी है इसका सहज मार्ग बताकर जो विश्व के, देश के और विदेश के लोगों का मार्गदर्शन कर रहे हैं, ऐसे पथ प्रदर्शक प्रातः स्मरणीय पूज्य बाबूजी महाराज। ये दोनों समकालीन संत हैं और इसीलिए इन दोनों के विचारों में भी बड़ी समता है। ये दोनों विभूतियां हम सभी को ध्यान की पद्धतियों से अवगत करा करके हम सभी को भक्त बनाना चाहती है। ध्यान की पद्धतियों को अपनाने से हम भक्त बनते हैं। भक्त बनने का तात्पर्य क्या है? भक्ति ये कोई बाहरी क्रिया नहीं है, भक्ति ये भीतरी दशा है। भक्ति ये कोई बाहरी आवरण नहीं है, भक्ति ये अवस्था है। भक्त कैसा होता है? बोले जिसमें सरलता हो, जिसमें सहजता हो, जिसमें मृदुलता हो, जिसमें सौम्यता हो। और भक्त वह है जिसमें विद्वत्ता हो या न हो लेकिन विनम्रता भरपूर हो, वो भक्त है। इसलिए श्री हनुमान जी महाराज भक्ति के आचार्य है, क्योंकि नाम ही हनुमान है। हनुमान का मतलब होता है जिन्होंने अपने मान का हनन किया, वो हनुमान। तो भक्त वह है जिसमें विनम्रता होती है। जो भक्त होगा ना, वो अपने आप को खास नहीं समझता। भक्त जो होता है वो अपने आप को दास समझता है। इसलिए तुलसीदास, रईदास, सूरदास, कबीरदास और टुकड़िया दास, जब भीतर से अहंकार निकल जाता है तब व्यक्ति भक्त बनता है। किसी ने बहुत सुंदर बात कही कि जब आईने को साफ किया तब मैं दिखाई दिया, और जब मैं को साफ किया तो मेरे रब, मेरे मालिक, फिर तू दिखाई दिया, फिर तू ही तू दिखाई दिया। तो भक्त वह है जिसमें सरलता होती है, विनम्रता होती है। भक्त बहुत सरल होता है क्योंकि हम भगवान का, ईश्वर का भजन करते करते उसके जैसे बन जाते हैं। सरलता ये परमात्मा का सहज स्वभाव है। और एक बात बोले, ईश्वर को पाना सरल, ईश्वर को प्राप्त करना सरल, ईश्वर को प्रसन्न करना सरल, ईश्वर तक पहुंचना सरल। तो पूछा गया जब सब सरल है तो कठिन क्या है? तो बोले जिंदगी में सरल होना ही बहुत कठिन है। जिस दिन जीवन में सरलता आ जाती है उस दिन हम परमात्मा के नजदीक पहुंच जाते हैं। भक्त जो होगा उसमें विनम्रता होगी, भक्त जो होगा उसमें सरलता होगी, और भक्त जो होगा उसमें शरणागति होगी। शरणागति के बाद ही भक्ति की पाठशाला में हमारी एडमिशन हो जाती है। शरणागति का मतलब क्या है? शरणागति का तात्पर्य है कि जहाँ हमारी कोई अपनी इच्छा नहीं होती। शरणागति का मतलब है जहाँ हमारी कोई मांग नहीं होती। शरणागति का मतलब है जहाँ हमारी कोई शिकायत नहीं होती। हम कहते हैं कि हम शरणागत हैं, हम कहते हैं कि हम समर्पित हैं, लेकिन समर्पित होने के बाद भी हम चिंता करते हैं। हम प्रणाम भी करते हैं और हम चिंता भी करते हैं। जब चिंता करनी ही है तो प्रणाम करते ही क्यों हो, और जब प्रणाम कर दिया तो फिर चिंता किस बात की है? शरणागति का मतलब है कि आप में सहजता आ जाए। जहाँ भक्त होता है वह उसकी अपनी कोई इच्छा नहीं होती, अपनी कोई आकांक्षा नहीं होती। भक्त यही कहता है, ये मेरी अर्जी है, मर्जी है, मैं वो हो जाऊं जो तेरी मर्जी है, मैं वो हो जाऊं जो तेरी मर्जी है। तो जिसका ये भाव हो जाता है वो भक्त बन जाता है। और दाजी हम सभी को ये संपूर्ण गुरु परंपरा हमको भक्त बनाना चाहती है, यानी हमको सरलता, सहजता, सौम्यता, मृदुलता, विद्वत्ता और विनम्रता से भरना चाहती है। तो दाजी के पूज्य चरणों में यही प्रार्थना है कि आपके द्वारा प्राप्त प्राणाहुति और निरंतर सतस्मरण और निरंतर अभ्यास से हमारी भी यही दशा बन जाए, हम उस अवस्था में पहुंच जाए जिस ऊंचाई पर आप हमको देखना चाहते हैं। क्योंकि गुरु कभी शिष्य नहीं बनाना चाहता, गुरु अपनी जैसी ज्योत जलाना चाहता है, क्योंकि ज्योत अपनी जैसी ही ज्योत प्रकट करना चाहता है। तो पूज्य चरणों में यही वंदन है, दाजी के चरणों में यही प्रणाम है कि हम सभी की यही अवस्था बन जाए और हमारी साधना में निरंतरता बनी रहे। प्रणाम, सीताराम।
Thank you, sister, for that beautiful exposition on surrender. I now invite Brother Prakash Seshadri to come and say a few words on the occasion.
Pranams, beloved Daaji. Pranams to all sisters and brothers, specifically to our dear sisters and brothers who have come from the Tukdoji Maharaj Sanstha. When we look at the success of heartfulness, what makes heartfulness transcend the globe? Today we are present in more than 170 countries. I study a lot about corporates, organizations, and find why they are successful. If we really look at what makes us really successful, it will make it easier for us to reach the goal that Daaji has set for all of us. Corporates, typically successful organizations globally, what you call as Fortune 100 companies, follow a very simple 3-step model. The first step they define is what is called as the why the organization exists. It is also called as the purpose. In our case, Daaji has defined a beautiful purpose on why heartfulness exists. He has clarified and shared this to so many of us so many times, yet I thought I will share it here today so that we all understand the purpose for which we are working. He said the purpose of heartfulness is to make every human spiritual. When that why is clear, what we call as the purpose, then we move on to the process which will enable this why to happen faster. The process that he has given, including the message for the 125th birth anniversary of Pujya BABUJI Maharaj, is about surrender. Other than that, we all know that we have a few more processes like developing love, bhakti, things like that, depending upon the level of commitment we have to our practice. How do we achieve this process is what is customer facing or what we offer to the globe or to the world, what we call as the products or services of our heartfulness practice. Our practices are quite simple. To put it in very simple terms, we meditate. Yesterday evening, Daaji gave in his talk in Hindi very simple 3 things. Meditate in the morning, clean in the evening, and offer our prayer at the time we go to bed. Let's expand a bit on this to see how it fits into the current world scenario. The last few days, I had a lot of chance to interact with a lot of youth. The standard question that comes from youth is what we call as WIFM. What is in it for me? Why should I follow this practice? What will I get? The I-centric. I would like to share here a very interesting anecdote about what happens between my daughter and my wife periodically. Whenever my daughter is either ecstatic or she is a little bit down, she always used to go and hug my wife and say, I want to get back into your womb, even at this age. And my wife always used to hilariously ask her, why do you want to do it? She says that I feel so secure. I feel that whatever I need to get, I get with love. I don't need to have any kind of problem whatsoever. If you really look in one word, what surrender really means to us is the benefits of oneness with the Guru. When we understand this from this simple anecdote that I shared, the three attitudes that I wanted to share, which will make the process faster, what I call as the 3D of the process that we can use. The first D is what I call as being dedicated. Being dedicated to what? Being dedicated to the cause that Daaji wants to spread in this world of making every human spiritual. For that, of course, we need to be dedicated to ourselves. Charity begins at home. Are we making ourselves better so that the world sees us as someone who has become spiritual? As Daaji mentioned yesterday, when he walked the earth, people should ask, who is this person? What is so special about him? When we are dedicated to our practice, when we are dedicated to the goal what heartfulness offers, what happens is that we start getting dedicated to the purpose for which we can start working. I was sharing a few notes with a fellow functionaries a few days back, and many of them said there are things that we can borrow from a few sanstha's around the world. There, what the volunteers or the abhyasis do is that in their life, they set aside every day 5 minutes for spreading for what they are really committed about, which is the cause that Daaji has given us. All it needs is 5 minutes of our life every day. In a life of 24 hours, 5 minutes I don't think is going to be too difficult for us to offer. You can talk about it, you can spread the word through social media, or you can conduct a session virtually, whatever it is. The second word that would help us in the 3D process is to be disciplined. Babuji Maharaj has often described a disciple is one who is disciplined. If you look at the definition, Webster or whatever, the word discipline stands for sticking to a process till you reach the goal. If you take the example of a post stamp on an envelope, the envelope won't reach the destination if the stamp falls off some way. Likewise, if you are able to stick to the process till we reach the goal that we have of what heartfulness offers, it makes it much more difficult. Discipline to the practice, discipline to the 3 M's, my master, my mission, my method. And then the third one comes, which is what leads the 2 D's into what I would call as devotion. A sense of bhakti that I completely understand that there is nothing that I can do in my life without his support. In this message that he has given for the Bandara, he very clearly has specified that surrender is an active process. It's not something that you give up and raise your hands and say that Master will take care now. It is an active process where a combination of your mind and free will helps you to go towards the ego, which he defines in this message as the ego or the existence inside of yourself, which is nothing but a reflection of what he is inside us. The moment we understand and put the 3 D's together, it leads us to the 4-step process that he has given in the message towards the end, which is part of the what or the tools of what heartfulness is all about. He speaks one about sadhana, which is nothing but the practice that we have, which enables us to sharpen the knife every day. As I always share in all my sessions with youth, just turn up once more, just turn up once more, just turn up once more, the next day, the next day. A day will come when automatically his heart opens and then the job is done. The second S he speaks in the 4S in that message is about satsang, like what we have, where we search for the truth together all those who are in search for the common truth who get together are called satsangis. We come together to search for a common truth, and that binds us together. That creates an egregore which automatically has a reverberatory effect all over, spreading the message wherever we go. The third S he speaks about is smran, or constant remembrance. When you continuously meditate, what else can you become but just be in his remembrance all the time? And to do these three S, he shares the fourth S, which is nothing but the literature that we have. This helps us literally to reinforce the beliefs that we have in the system. What does the system offer? Once he gave a talk in Manapakam in 2015, he said, Prakash, if people just even follow 1% of all that masters have said, they can achieve the goal very fast. They keep sharing so much because they want to help us to move faster. The concluding line in that message, he beautifully shares a mathematical formula where he beautifully shares saying, the degree of help that is available to you is directly proportional to the degree of surrender. If I have to shake hand with someone, I have to extend my hand. And the more you extend your hand, the faster the help comes from the other side. The degree of surrender is not an on-off switch. It is something that we have to gradually move on, to such an extent that finally the person who has surrendered does not know that he has actually surrendered. In short, if you really have to look at it, the choices that we have in front of us to spread heartfulness globally is quite huge. The purpose is clear, the process is clear, and the tools and techniques are available, and all these are free as we know. Let's all again come together to spread his message globally so that the vision or the purpose that he has for us of making every human spiritual becomes a reality very soon. Before I end my talk, it also gives me immense privilege to announce, as Daaji already announced, that the 97th birth anniversary celebrations of revered Chariji Maharaj will be held in Kanha Shanti Vanam on the 23rd, 24th and 25th of July 2024, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. Daaji has also said that in this Bandara, he wants to give preference to a lot of youth, new seekers who have joined the mission recently, and people who are young. And due to the restrictions that we have in the campus, he has said maybe we can look at about 20,000 people attending on a first-come, first-served basis. The links should be coming out shortly. Let's all go back with all that has been poured into us in the last two batches, build on it, and come back to grab more in the next Bandara. Thank you.